What's up, everybody, and welcome back to another episode of This Hits Different, hosted by yours truly, Riley Nelson. You guys, it is Sunday, and it is literally a few hours before I'm supposed to release the episode, and here I am recording it because I have been a little burnt out, and it's not of the podcast whatsoever. I started a new job. I'm trying to figure out life. There's a lot of change right now, and I don't know, I have so much to talk to you guys about, and I don't even know where to start. Honestly, I feel like I want to start with Beyonce because I told y'all I was going to do a Beyonce breakdown, and I haven't done it yet because I literally have not had the time or energy. It has been insane, my schedule. I get up at 7 every morning. I'm working 9 to 5 or 10 to 6, and then I'm trying to work out, and then I'm trying to have a social life. And then I also have to record episodes after that. And then I have to find some time to edit and then also do self-care and therapy and work on myself. And it's honestly so much. I don't know how people do it, especially mothers. Oh, and I'm trying to get 8 hours of sleep too. And my days are just so full right now. And I'm getting the hang of going back to working 40 hours a week because, it's just kind of different. The restaurant, you get used to just sitting, I don't know, you get used to having different kinds of schedules. And so this is very different for me. So reacclimating to the 40-hour work week has been a little bit more difficult than I expected it to be. I've been really struggling lately with going to bed early enough so I can get 8 hours. So I feel like I'm probably going to get sick soon, low-key. But anyways. So I'm trying to do everything right now, and I'm really struggling. And I think that this is going to be my season 2 finale, and that I think I'm going to take a little break and then launch in the fall and go harder than ever before. I just feel like I don't want to get too burnt out, and I need to allow myself time to rest and time to have breaks because the podcast is a long-term commitment. And if I just keep going at the rate I'm going, I'm going to burn myself out. You know what I mean? So after this episode, I believe I'm going to take a break. And I only say I believe because there is one other artist that I'm trying to get on. And I think it'd be really cool to have him as my season finale guest. But that is still TBD. I don't know if he's going to end up coming on or not. It's kind of complicated. So I'm going to say that this is the last one. And if it's not, I'll post about it. I'll share it all over hosted by Riley Nelson. That's RILEYNELSON, slay. So anyways, let's do the full Beyonce breakdown because I've been teasing this, and if you have seen my TikTok or my Instagram reels, you have seen that I went around and I was interviewing people before the show. The fashion at Beyonce. Let's just start with that. I was so excited to get dressed up, do my makeup, have an excuse to really do something out there and crazy, but still beautiful. So I did a full glam beat. I did very contoured, very structured. And then I smoked all of my eyeshadow out into my cheeks and blended it into the blush. It was so pretty. I'll put pictures in right here. Honestly, you're probably watching them already. But it was so much fun. And then I did rhinestones and made it a whole thing. It honestly was so slay. And so then I was running super late to the pregame. So I drove over and met up with everybody. And we Ubered to the stadium, and the energy there was just so incredible. It was so positive. It was so uplifting. Everyone was hyping each other up, and the outfits, oh my gosh. Nobody came to play. I mean, seriously, the outfits and the fashion were so cute. So anyways, I don't even I just don't know. It was insane. It was by far the best concert I've ever seen in my entire life. I mean, from the visuals to the choreography to the music, it was just a masterpiece, truly. And me and my friend Morgan went. We did have a little too much to drink. And honestly, I kind of wish I didn't drink as much, only because there are parts of Beyonce that are a little fuzzy. And I hate that. I'm thinking about going again on August 12th to Atlanta. I haven't decided for sure yet because I just want to go see her again so bad. But I'm also poor. So that's where we're at right now. Yeah. So anyways, it was like so incredible. Oh my God. Why do I keep yawning? I'm literally trying to record right now. So rude. I mean, seriously, I like don't even know like what I can say. Like it was just incredible. And I have videos. Me and my friend like had amazing seats. The people were so nice. I got so many videos with people and doing some interviews at the venue. And it was just so amazing. And if you're thinking about going to Beyonce, just do it. I mean, like Beyonce only goes on tour like once every 10 years. So if you're even questioning or contemplating it, just do it. I promise you are not going to regret it. Seriously, it was the best concert I've ever been to. Okay. I just don't feel like I have much more to say about it because like it was perfect and it was perfection. And I don't want to like break down the set list because that seems like a lot of work. Like you can find that online or you don't have to. So I have discovered something recently and I have kind of realized that this is a common occurrence and I want to talk about it. So I don't know if men think that women are stupid or they think that they're not going to realize, but something has been happening a lot on Snapchat and I think I need to talk about it and I need to raise awareness. I have gotten probably like 5 to 10 Snapchats from different guys over the years of them being on the toilet. And you know why I know they're on the toilet? They'll send me a Snapchat of like a selfie of their face and I see the fan above them. And then I can see the shower curtain right next to them. And when I call them out, they all say, "How did you know?" And the fan in the bathroom is a very distinct fan. And this is like something that happens a lot. And I was talking with my friends about it. I was like, why do guys do this? Because I literally got a Snapchat this morning from a guy and he was on the toilet. And I was like, are you kidding me? That's so disgusting. Like, let's leave a little mystery in the relationship, will we? I don't know. What do you guys think about this? Is this something that y'all see too? Or is this like just something that's happening with me? Because I'm like, there's no way. But when I was telling my friends, like we all were laughing and they were all like, oh my God, like our boyfriends do that to us too. And like guys that we're talking to or guys that we're dating. So this is like clearly a thing. Like, guys, do you not think that we're going to notice that you're on the toilet? Like the fan that's above the toilet is so distinct and the shower curtain right next to you. Like I'm trying to like see if you're dating material. I'm trying to see if I'm physically attracted to you, if I have an emotional connection with you. And you're sending me pictures on the toilet. Like there is nothing, like there is no greater ick than seeing a man, like half of his face clearly on the toilet. Like, I don't know. Is this a niche thing? I really hope it's not. I mean, for women's sake, I hope it is. But for my sake, I hope it's not. Because if it's just me that this is happening to, that's really concerning. Because why do men think that I'm not going to notice that they're taking a shit while they're Snapchatting me? Like, it's so gross. It's like such a gross like picture. Like I'm instantly turned off. So I discovered a new ick. And I don't even really feel like that should be an ick because I feel like that's just like gross in general. But I just discovered a new one and I thought I would share it with you guys. Please reach out to me and let me know if this is a thing for y'all too. I don't know why this is something that I've noticed recently. Like over the past few years. Like it just keeps happening. And I don't know why. So I hope that if you're a man and you're listening to this, you seriously reevaluate. I get it. You're taking a shit, you're on your phone and like you're Snapchatting, but maybe let's wait until we're off the shitter to Snapchat women back. Maybe. Just a thought. But like, think about if it was the other way around. Like if a woman was taking a shit and like sending it to men, like would they just not notice? Or like would they notice, like it's kind of gross. Like it kind of like puts like a gross image in your head. I don't know. Maybe I'm being like too weird about this, but it's like a really big ick for me now. So anyways, yeah, that's my new ick. And one last thing. I really want to wrap this up because I had brought this up to you guys a few weeks ago. And mind you, when I do these recordings, like typically it's like far out in advance. So, you know, you just heard me talk about the guy that I was seeing. You heard about that the episode before last. But in my book, it's been like 6 weeks. So a lot can happen in that time. So I'm going to say this as like, I want to say this as best as I can because I know that the guy listens. I know that he probably will listen to this. So, well, I don't know if he like routinely listens, but like, I feel like he's going to listen to this. So I'm just going to say this as nice as I can. And if you're listening, you know who you are. Hello. And, wow, this sounds like kind of bitchy, but I genuinely don't mean this to be bitchy. I don't think he's a bad guy whatsoever. Let me make that very clear. But I have an update on that. I feel like things have fizzled out with this guy. When I went home the second time, I was super excited to hang out with him. I was super excited to see him. I was only going to be home for like a week or so. And I was really like hoping to see him like a good amount just because I was only home for a short time. And the first time that we hung out, it actually went really good. We went and got dinner and like it was really sweet. And then afterwards, like, if you're my family, if you're any guys I'm dating, turn this off right now. But then it got a little spicy. Like we went into, my parents know this now. Well, I don't know if they do or not, but I'm still not allowed to bring guys into my room, especially with the door closed, because my parents don't want me fucking in their house. Like I said, if you're still listening, family or guys that I'm dating, that's on you. So sorry about that. But yeah, anyways, so we like go into my room. We're having like a little sexy time. Nothing like, well, I mean, I don't know if I should say this on here. Anyways, we were having a nice time together. And then he left and went to go like be with his boys. Like that was fine, you know, like anyways, yeah, that was fine. So then I went out of town and was hoping when I got back, like to try to see him. And I just kind of felt like the second time we hung out, I felt like he kind of pulled away. Like something just kind of felt off and like I couldn't put my finger on it. But like we just cuddled and we like watched a movie and it was really sweet and it was really tender. And like I really did enjoy like being in this guy's presence, but I can't explain it. Something just felt off and I kind of felt like that was going to be the last time that we like hung out or spoke. I don't know. Then we go a few days after that hangout and he's not talking to me. And I don't want to say he's ghosting me. He's not ghosting me, but like, it's kind of like the slow fade. So whenever he does reach out, I address it. I'm like, hey, I get that communication is not your strong suit, but I don't like that you hang out with me and then don't talk to me for days. Like that doesn't make me feel good about myself. And that's not attractive to me. And he was like, I'm sorry, I'll be better, blah, blah, blah. And we had talked on the phone a few times and I ended up going back to Nashville. He didn't even know I was going back because he didn't even think to ask. And like, it just kind of hurt my feelings. Like, is he a horrible guy? No. But like, is long distance kind of hard and not ideal? Yes. And so I think he just kind of pulled away. And like, I think that's all it really is. I mean, if there's more, I'll like keep you guys updated. But since I've been back in Nashville, like we've barely talked. I think we talked like one night a few weeks ago on the phone. And then after that, it's been virtually nothing. And I kind of, this sounds so sad, but like, I kind of attribute it to like, I stopped reaching out first and I was like, let's just see. And then we've barely talked because I've stopped reaching out first. So I don't know. I think that's kind of that. I mean, it does suck. Like I could have seen myself like potentially with this person, but you know, it's just, I don't think he's a bad guy. Like it's like really for the better because I mean, I want very different things out of life and I don't know. So I think that that's kind of fizzled out. If anything comes of it, I'll keep you guys in the know. But I feel like that's kind of that with that guy. So that being said, I have been back on Bumble and back on the dating apps. And that's where I've been getting Snapchats from guys on the toilet. So I don't know why. I don't know why that's a thing. But anyways, tie that all back in, I guess. But yeah, so I'm back on the apps. And honestly, like, I'm not live, laugh, loving. You know what I mean? The apps just aren't it for me, I think. I don't know. I'm just like kind of tired of like, I don't know. I can't explain it. I just want someone that I'm like physically, like I want someone that I'm like super excited about and all that and like giddy about and like somebody that like really wants me and makes it known that they want me. And I just don't feel like I've had that ever. And so I've just been like really struggling with that lately. So I don't know. This got a little sad. But anyways, I truly believe that like when it's going to happen, it's going to happen. Obviously it sucks because I got my hopes up about this guy and like the potential of it. But you know, we just got to move on. We just got to do our thing. And yeah, so I guess without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and get into the episode with Amber Ais. Well, before I get into the episode though, go ahead, follow me on social media. You can find me on TikTok, Instagram, Reels. Instagram is Reels. Oh my God. Or Reels is Instagram. Hello. Anyways, Threads, because we're on Threads now, at hosted by Riley Nelson. So you can look out for that. What else? Oh, go on my website, submit claims, tell me who you want me to see, submit stories, all the things. And go follow the podcast, share it, send it to your friends, rate it 5 stars because that helps boost me and like get me seen. So if you like This Hits Different, then give it 5 stars. If not, then shut the fuck up and don't tell me, don't do anything about it. Just live, laugh, love. Without further ado, let's get into the episode with Amber Ais. It is the moment that we have all been waiting for. I am joined here today with Amber Ais.
Hi,
And
everybody.
Ais is spelled A-I-S.
Absolutely. Every time.
Amber Ais, period.
Yes. I didn't know that 3 letters could confuse the masses, but it really does. Shout out to my dad for my
Shout out.
last name.
Oh, that is?
Yeah, that's
I love that.
Yeah, that literally is not my stage name. That literally is just my last name.
Really? I thought it was a stage name, and I was like,
Nah.
it's kind of badass. I love it.
Oh, I mean, thank you, but no, that's just my dad being an immigrant. So,
we love it. We love it. Well, welcome to This Hits Different.
well, thank you for having me.
We're here today to talk about your upcoming release.
Yes,
Tell me all about it. What's it called?
it's called
all the things.
Crying Over Boys. Wow, it'll be out August 11th.
Yes, it will.
And it's probably, I think it's one of my favorite songs that I've put out or written.
It's good.
Yeah,
It's
thank
like
you.
a vibe.
Thank you.
Like it's just like you're listening, you're just like, I fuck with this. Like that's like
my God.
that's like what I was getting. I was just like, wow. and
Yay.
The bass was so good. I was playing it in my car and I have a sub in my trunk and I was like playing it and like could like feel the bass. I was like driving home and I was like, this is I love it.
Oh my
it's
gosh,
so good.
Thank you. It was produced by my good friend Austin Davis. So Austin, if you're listening, thank you so much. We
Shout out
actually
to you,
wrote
Austin.
it together too.
Really?
So that, yeah.
That's awesome. I have one question. Who hurt you?
Wow, how much time do we have? Who hurt me? Wow. There was this boy that I cried over, hence the title.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
Now
Good.
recovering.
Good.
You know, we're in recovery. We're slowly on our way out from the trenches.
Was he a fuck boy?
I don't want to say he was, but I also don't want to say that he wasn't. I think
he was just a little manipulative.
It was more like my rule of thumb is always, if you don't like me, just leave me alone. That's really what it is.
Yes.
It's really that the whole time. And so this person would just like, you know, they'd come in and out of my life all the time. Mm-hmm. Not all the time, just a couple, like enough times to be like, what do you want from me? You know what I mean?
You're like, what are we doing here?
Yes. And so we had a conversation like that like a year or two ago. And I was just like, okay, just leave me alone then. That's fine. And then I don't know what happened. We ended up like dating each other. Oh. And then he just broke up with me. And so for me, I never give myself license to be angry about something before. Yeah. I usually kind of like rationalize or romanticize like what that person did and be like, it's okay, like they have their reasons.
It just wasn't
we move
my
on
person.
And it's okay. But then I realized that I was actually like upset, like I was actually mad. Like I couldn't like fathom the idea of being like, what was the point of all that? You know?
Yeah.
What was the point of any of it?
I completely get that. When did you write the song?
I wrote it I think I started writing it in January. Yeah.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So did this like happen a while back or is this more recent?
I would say like it was, I think now it's been like a year.
Yeah. Okay.
Well, at the time it was difficult to watch.
Your heart is healed.
I believe
we're okay now.
I think I'm okay now.
Good.
For sure. Yeah.
Good.
Yeah, for sure.
That makes me so happy to hear. I was like listening to it. I was like, wow, the song's like really sad. I was like, is she okay? But it's so good.
Thank you. I think that a lot of my songs are about other people, but they really are about like me and like my feelings and how like the situations impact me.
Yeah.
I think for me, something I felt deeply about it was that I was just like so embarrassed, you know?
Whenever you're just like, wow, why did I put up with that? I feel like a fucking idiot, kind of.
I feel like, I think I blamed myself a lot and I felt like I should have saw it coming. You know what I mean?
No, I completely
and I
get
felt
that.
like it was weird because like when you asked me that question earlier, I was like, he is, but he isn't at the same time. You know what I mean? It's like, I could say that, but at the end of the day, it was like the relationship we had, I didn't think it was bad. So when it did end, it didn't make sense to me. But I also was just like, you do this to me sometimes though. So like, why didn't I not see that coming? You know? So it was weird for me to sit there and be like, oh, like he's not like that. But it's like, but he was like that to me. You know what I mean?
Like, are you maybe like he wasn't a bad person, he just did bad things? Is that what we're getting at?
I guess that's what I would say.
Okay.
But I really was like, I mean, okay. And then I immediately felt embarrassed and I was just like, this is so embarrassing. So in the song I say, you made a joke out of me, but I guess you always said I was funny. And I thought that line was really funny to me.
I love that line. I actually like had a mental note to bring that one up.
Oh my gosh. And that's where I was like, oh, I was embarrassed. But then there's that piece of me that like romanticizes everything where it's like, well, you know, like,
and then you're like, oh, well, it wasn't that bad,
you know?
And then your best friends are like, bitch, shut
Girl,
the fuck
they're
up.
Like,
yes, it was.
And they're like, I heard you sob for like hours. And
like I watched you roll on the bathroom floor and cry. And you're like,
oh, I've had a roll on the bathroom floor moment, definitely. Not with this one. It was a different one. But
I feel like it's so, this is something I do so often. I have a red flag and an ick list. And is this toxic? Maybe. I don't know, but it fucking works. So I will go through and write the things that they do that doesn't make me feel great about myself. Or like say, for instance, like they're bad at communication. Like I'll like build a notes over time. So whenever this is why it's probably not good because like you're kind of like manifesting the end of it. Yeah. But when it ends and I get those moments of like, it wasn't that bad. Like, should I just text him? Then I look at that note and I'm like, oh, no, these are all the things that he didn't like about me. Or these are all the things that I didn't like about him or the things that he did that made me feel insecure or like not good about myself.
Right.
So I don't know whether or not I'm saying to do that, but it helps.
Yeah, for sure. I think when you get out of the whole I mean, obviously, like you're going through like a grief and like a shocking process of like everything ending. Like you go from like talking to somebody every single day, and then all of a sudden it's like radio silence.
Yeah.
So it's like, oh. And then just like, now I just have my thoughts and emotions about it. Thank you so much. And
like, thank you for the art and thank you for the inspiration, because you got a bomb ass song out of it.
Low key, I'm not gonna, this is probably my red flag, because every time I go through like a breakup, I'm like, wow, the songs are about to be so good. And I know that is crazy. I know, here's the thing. I don't think every girl is crazy, but a lot of us have potential. And I think that I'm not crazy and I don't have potential either. But I'm just like, oh wow, this song's about to be fire.
Yes.
I'm like, wow.
No, but okay, here's the thing that I like think about it. Like when I hear a guy saying, oh, Dallas, that's our house dog. I don't think that even probably picked up on these ones, because these are like music mics, not podcast mics. So it doesn't really pick up much around the room, which is nice.
Oh, cool.
What was I saying? Hang on. You just said, oh, whenever guys are like, my ex is so crazy. She was so like, my first thought is, what did you do to make her crazy? Because, okay, don't get me wrong, there are crazy
There
girls.
are people that are
crazy.
Yeah, I definitely think so.
But most of the time, it doesn't come out of nowhere. There's a buildup.
Yeah, I think that a lot of the time, women, we don't really vocalize what's wrong, because we're like, we don't want to, we think that maybe if I say nothing, he won't think I'm crazy. Yeah. But the crazy thing about that, what makes you crazy is that you're not saying anything. And so then it just builds up and it builds up and builds up. And then all of a sudden you're slashing tires. And it's like, girl, if you would have just said something the first time, you wouldn't be in jail right now. But look at where you're at. You're in jail, babe.
And if we would have just communicated a little better,
maybe you wouldn't be in jail. I don't know.
Okay, I want to get into like music and like your early life. How did you get into music? Was this something that you've always known? What made you decide to take the leap? Like, I am going to pursue music as a career.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I've always felt like there was like an inherent thing inside of me to make music, like ever since I was a kid. Like I've always loved to sing. I always loved like making music. Like obviously, like a lot of us, we all grew up watching Disney Channel.
Yeah.
So like when Hannah Montana dropped, I was like, that's my girl right there. Love her. That's Beyonce to me. Like Hannah Montana was like, that's my girl. Don't talk about Miley like that. That's my girl. Okay. And to this day, like I love Miley Cyrus.
Oh my God, incredible. Her and Beyonce are my favorite artists of all time.
Period. Those are good choices.
Thank you.
Good choices. Okay. So I watched like Hannah Montana and I just loved making music, you know? I've never been good at any sports or like anything like cool. So I've never been good
I think music's pretty cool though.
Oh, thank you.
But whenever you're the music nerd in high school and everyone else is
just like
doing sports,
like majoring in nursing, and you're like, I'm gonna go to music school. It's
no,
like,
literally.
So I was never good at sports, and when I was like in elementary school, this is so lame. I would like bring a journal outside and like write songs.
That's so deep.
Girl, if you don't play kickball right now, why am I sitting on the sidelines with a journal? We're outside.
We need to find this journal.
I don't know where it is. My little sister, she sent me all of my journals from when I was like in high school and all these things, and I like read my old song lyrics, and I was like,
okay, but there could be
so bad, dude.
But there could be some like little gold mines in there. You might find a lyric or something.
It was very sweet. It was like teenage me like really believed in herself. Not saying that I don't believe in myself now, but she had high hopes for the future and was like, I'm gonna make music and I'm gonna do this, I'm gonna do that. And you know, I think that little girl still lives inside of me a little bit.
I was gonna say, I think if that little girl could see you now, she'd probably be like, holy shit, I'm doing it.
I really hope she would think that, you know?
I think she would.
Yeah, I think she would be. Sorry.
Thunder?
I think so.
Slay.
But yeah, so I kind of started writing songs like young, elementary school, middle school a little bit. I got my first guitar when I was like 15. And part of the reason why I started making music is like my faith. I like sang in church choir and stuff a lot growing up, but I remember one of my like leaders in high school, they were like, because, you know, everyone at the church was kind of like, oh, Amber, are you going to like lead worship for us when you're older? And I was like, do I have to? Like, and I thought that because I was like a Christian that I had to like make like worship music, and that just never felt like that was something that was part of me. And then one of my leaders was like, you know, Amber, you're a really good songwriter. And I was like, thank you. And they're like, and you don't actually have to lead worship just because you're saved. And I was like, really? And they were like, yeah, you don't have to. Like, you can if you want to, but if that's not what you feel like you should do, then don't do it. Yeah. And I was like, period. So then I was like, wow, that's so great. So ever since then, I was just like, that's just not what I feel like I'm called to do. So I was just like, what I feel like I'm called to do is make music. So.
Here's the thing. I led worship too. Growing up. I did it for like 3 or 4 years. Yeah, I mean, on and off. But I got into it for all the wrong reasons. Real. I'm not gonna lie. This is like part of my testimony too, but like I got into it because I wanted a place to perform.
Real. That's real. A lot of people do. That takes self-awareness.
And that's
because people are still doing that today.
Yeah.
Okay.
I know. That's true. That's true.
Crazy.
I was in high school and I was the music girl and, you know, everyone was like, oh my God, you should sing at church. You should sing at church. And like, I went to this big church downtown and I was like, I don't know. And then finally, I was like watching the production. I was like, oh, this looks really cool. Like there's a lot of people, like it'd be a good opportunity. So I was like, okay, like I'll do it. I wasn't doing it for church. I was just doing it because I wanted to sing.
Real.
And I don't know necessarily that I was like, I need to get on stage in front of all these people, but like there was a part of me that was just like trying to get into it for that aspect.
Right. That's real.
The performing and the music.
That's real.
And yeah, and then I like got really involved in the church and, you know, got like a really, really good, solid group of people who are still in my life and very much like people I still look up to. But like I was the complete opposite.
Real. That's real.
I was trying to get in it because I was like, oh my God, I want to sing.
Right. That's real. That's, again, self-awareness.
Yeah.
Because people still do that today.
Yeah. There's a lot out there.
Some of the big names.
Yeah.
You know?
But
so after high school, I ended up getting into Berkeley. And I majored in songwriting and I released my first EP, 2017.
Oh my gosh.
And I've been doing it. I've been putting music out ever since. So
that's awesome.
That's been...
did you graduate from Berkeley?
I did. My mother would not let me drop out a day in my life. My mom literally was like, every single one of my children need to go to college and get a degree. So I had no choice.
Rare.
I know.
That's incredible. Like,
isn't that
for
crazy?
So I loved Berkeley. And I did get into Berkeley. That was like one of my biggest accomplishments. No. So one of my biggest accomplishments, one of my biggest accomplishments, oh my God.
It's okay.
I did this with Jemiah too. I was like brain dead after work. One of my biggest accomplishments in my life is the fact that I got into both Berkeley and Belmont. I got into both the music programs. And that is one thing that I'm like, I still am very proud of myself for in a way. But I was obsessed with Berkeley growing up.
Oh my
like
gosh.
I got in.
Wait, how old are you?
23. I just turned 23. I don't know why I had to think so hard about that. So I did all of the summer camps. I think 2016, maybe 2015. I was there for 2 weeks. I did two. I did a vocal summit and I did the songwriting camp. And then the next summer I did 5 week. And I was just like obsessed. And then I ended up being in Boston for 6 weeks because my cousin lived there and I stayed a little bit. My cousin also went to Berkeley. She dropped out, as most do.
Okay.
But
how old is she? Was she older than you?
Yeah, she's 26. Yeah.
Who is it?
Madison Campbell.
No. Sorry.
I'll show you her later.
You can maybe show me a photo of her.
Yeah, you're probably right. I mean, I feel like Berkeley's small enough. What year did you graduate?
Oh.
Or what year were you there?
I'm 26. So okay. We would probably be there at the same time.
You probably were there at the same time.
I graduated 2018. So
okay. Yeah, she would have graduated 2018 if she didn't drop out. But we love that for her. Yeah, so I was
she saved money.
She did. I was always obsessed with Berkeley. I was a Berkeley girl. And then it wasn't until Belmont. I'm sorry. We're here to talk about you today, but I'm just fully telling my story now. This is good though. It means I trust you and we have good rapport.
Amazing. We have great rapport.
Anyways, we'll get back into your music in a sec. Anyway, so I was like obsessed with Berkeley.
Right.
I'd done all the summer camps. I was like, I am only going to Berkeley. No other school is for me. I even had toured Belmont and like didn't really give two shits about it. But when it came down to auditions, my mom was like, okay, our like training and our like college counselor training people, whatever. We're like, you need to have like one school that's like a safe option just in case Berkeley doesn't work out because it's really hard to get into. And I was like, I'm going to get in. Like, are you kidding? Like, it's like my dream school. So I auditioned for Belmont too. Those were the only 2 auditions I did for college that were like legit and ones I actually tried for. The others I did online submissions. Like I knew it wasn't gonna happen. I just needed to,
Sorry,
have
Loki
that.
just burped into the microphone. I
didn't even hear
realize
anything.
that it was a throat one.
Oh, we love slay. But yeah, so then Berkeley, what was I saying? Okay. Belmont, when I went to do my audition at Belmont, I can't explain it. Everything was telling me to go there. And like, it was like, I don't want to be like, God told me because I don't hear God speak. That's never happened to me. And I try to understand people to have that. It's not something I can relate to, but I just had such a strong gut feeling and intuition of like, fuck, this is where I have to be. And I ended up getting both acceptance letters. And then I like literally waited until like one of the last days because I couldn't decide. But I was like, because everything in me was like, I've been in Berkeley my whole life. But now all of a sudden I'm like switching up to Belmont. And like, why am I doing this? I don't know. But like everything in me was just like, you have to go to Belmont. And I took that leap over Berkeley. And I actually could not be more thankful that I did.
Yeah.
Because honestly, if I went to Berkeley, I don't think I would have graduated. Number one. Number two, like my life here is so like beautiful and I love my life here and I feel very fulfilled here. So none of this would have happened if I didn't go to Belmont because like these are my college friends that I'm living with. Like I don't know, it's weird as how like life plays out that way. And I tried to ignore it, but you just couldn't. Yeah.
That's real.
Yeah.
Cool.
Okay,
Thank you for sharing that.
Sorry for like really going on a rant. I
No,
get
it's
so
okay.
excited with Berkeley.
No, it's fine.
So you released your first EP 2017 and you've been releasing music since.
Yeah.
What made you decide to move to Nashville?
A lot of things. I just really felt like, well, quarantine happened.
Yeah.
And I had lived with my parents for my whole life, basically. And I was like, I can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I think realizing that I was like stuck made me really put a fire in me to like get out. So
yeah. Where do your parents live?
Boston.
Boston. Oh, okay.
So it was
So you
like
were
I went
close.
to school in Boston. My mom worked literally down the street at like the hospital. Like,
Oh,
if
that's
I
so cool.
needed something, she could probably just bring it to me. Like,
Yeah.
things like that. Like things were just very comfortable for me there. And obviously, like I was making music, and that was really fun. But that was really fun out there. But I knew that like if I wanted to make any like real moves or like real, changes or shifts, I had to go somewhere else. You know what I mean? Go where the music is.
Yeah.
Go where
LA, New York, Nashville.
Yeah.
Atlanta.
And so I knew, I know that I hate New York. I'm so sorry. But I do not like it. That's so
Probably because
funny.
you grew up north, though.
That, but also like New York makes me feel claustrophobic and makes me want to have a panic attack every time I'm there.
Interesting.
It really freaks me out.
Really?
It's just so condensed. Everything's so loud. It scares me. Which is why I don't like Broadway. Because I'm like, it's scary there.
It's
like,
overwhelming.
It's overwhelming. I'm overstimulated all the time. And I could not live in a place where I was overstimulated like that.
I get that.
And so
That's fair.
I don't like New York. LA, my faith is so important to me that I was like, if I went to LA, I feel like I would die maybe a little bit. So I don't want to go there. And so then I thought a lot about Nashville. And I got into this worship program at this church I go to called The Belonging.
Oh, nice.
But I don't even do the worship program anymore. I honestly think it was just like a way for me to get out. And I am grateful that I did go, but I really do believe it was just like a step to get me here. Because I think the idea of me just like packing up my life and like moving would like throw me over the edge. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because again, like I lived with my parents my whole life, like throwing myself into a new city and having like zero plan would really freak me out a lot, I think. So I think I really needed some sort of like baby step or something. And I'm still grateful for the time that I spent there. But even so, I really do think it was just like a step for me to get here. Yeah. And it was great.
What has your experience been like doing music out of Nashville?
It's been fun, honestly. I think I think I tend to thrive in like creative areas.
Yeah.
I think I tend to thrive in places where there's a lot of like songwriters and things like that. And I think everyone was saying that Nashville was really competitive, but I've never felt that. I feel like it's
never felt that way.
Yeah, I've always felt like it was like super collaborative.
Absolutely.
And like if you think, I don't really see anybody as competition. I really see people as like collaborators if I need them to be.
Yeah.
And some people just like are in their own lane and they're like on their own journey. So there's nothing to really compare or compete with. You know?
I feel like LA is very competitive.
Yeah, I've heard that and I
like
believe that. And I've heard that.
Yeah.
And
I have friends that have told me some stories that I'm just like,
yeah,
that's crazy.
It's a little scary.
Like,
you know?
This is not real.
Yeah. Like very like I don't know. I feel like making music here has been like very normal and also like very natural. I when I first moved here, I didn't know anybody really. I didn't know any producers, any songwriters, or anything like that. You know,
I feel like a bunch of people from Berkeley end up here. Did you have any like Berkeley people here?
Yes. I think I've met maybe one of them.
Okay.
I do know a few people who do live here, but I was never really close with them. So it's like, oh, I know you, but if I wouldn't be like, hey, do you want to get coffee? Like, you know?
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
So, there's like one or two people that
there's a lot of people from 5 Week that I run into here all the time.
Random.
Like, not even like
5 Week.
Oh, like not even like
so funny.
Not even like, oh, I moved to Nashville. No. I've been out at bars and been like,
we did that
John?
program that one time.
Like,
yeah.
What are you doing here?
That's
and he's
crazy.
like, oh, I just moved here. And I'm like, what?
That's
like,
so
what are
crazy.
the odds of that? There's a few people I've like literally ran into that I did 5 Week with.
Right.
So random.
That's so weird. That's like a random one, like meeting people that you do 5 Week with. I don't think I have not seen anyone I did 5 Week with.
Really?
For years. Like I think of someone from 5 Week, I'm trying to like remember who I did 5 Week with, and I don't even remember.
I don't either. It's just like when I see their faces, I'm like,
oh,
I know you.
Familiar.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. So that's happened a few times. Okay, what were we saying? Music in Nashville. And you're enjoying it. It's very collaborative. We love. Have you ever thought about like moving out to LA, or do you just want to stay here?
I mean, I've only been here for 2 years. So, well, it'll be 2 years in August, but I really only have been here for not that long.
Yeah.
And so I would only move to a different place if like
an opportunity presented itself.
Like if things like really popped off.
Yeah.
And I found myself like, oh, I should move to LA for a season. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't really desire that.
Yeah. No, I love it. That's like one thing like Jemiah and I talked about. She was like, I just want to stay here and like be the first.
Right.
Where like, cause she does like R&B. I feel like you're kind of like R&B, but also
I'm a
sometimes it's
cusper.
like, yeah. Like some of your stuff kind of sounded like pop or like indie pop almost. And then there was some other stuff that was like R&B focused. So I feel like you have like a good blend. What would you say?
It was a cusp. I honestly think that a lot of Black genres like kind of make their way into other genres anyway. So I think I just do mostly pop music.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah.
Singer-songwriter for sure. But,
yeah.
Just because I think a lot of my songs are like guitar heavy or like guitar focused.
Yeah.
So and I kind of focus on like storytelling and like feelings based and stuff like that. So I don't really I would say it'd be like singer-songwriter pop.
Yeah.
Kind of.
I can see that. No, and like your voice is so beautiful. Like I just want to like compliment you on that real quick.
Wow,
like,
thank you.
No, like your voice is so like soft and airy and light, but then there's also times like you like have more power behind it. It's like so well controlled.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Like it's very clear that you have like strong, heavy training.
Thank you. Wow, that's so crazy. I used to be like super insecure about my voice. Like for a long time, actually. I don't know.
Like your singing voice or talking? Or both?
Both.
Interesting.
I think my singing voice, I thought I just like sounded like a baby.
Interesting.
And like no one took me serious like for a really long time. And I don't know why I thought that. I think also being in a school like Berkeley, there were like certain voices that were like highlighted or like praised.
Jazz.
You know what I mean? Like not just jazz, but like anyone that could do like insane runs, people were like obsessed with. You know
that's
what
everywhere.
I mean?
That's
I know that's
everywhere
everywhere.
too.
I know
It's
that's
so
everywhere.
annoying.
But I know it probably is everywhere. But like because I was never, because I don't really do, like I can do it if I wanted to.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But
I'm the same way. I don't do runs. I'm a
not,
belter.
Yeah. And so it's like, I'm not gonna just, like, that's just not the way that I felt like I authentically would express myself.
Yeah.
And I think that that's okay. But like, obviously, like being in a space, you're young, you're in you're like 18, 19, everyone's praising these people who are like super great runners and all these things, and you're like, dang, do I suck? Like no one
Comparison.
Yeah, it was like a real thing that happened like my first couple of years of college. Like I didn't perform until like my last year.
Really?
Yeah. And people didn't really know who I was until I released my like EP. And they were like, wait, this is like kind of good. Like who are you? I was like, I don't know. I just like stay in my room. Like that's like mostly what I would do. I would just like stay in my room and like write music all the time.
Did you do a lot of co-writes and stuff in college? Or were you just writing by yourself?
It's not that I can't co-write. I'm just not a co-writer.
I get that.
I've just always been taught, like one of my mentors, Nate, shout out to Nate Smith, he always told me like, you always want to be able to finish your own song.
Yeah.
Like you always want to be able to finish a song by yourself. Like you do not want to be you do not want to be in a position where you have to rely on other people to finish your stuff. And that's always stuck with me. So ever since then, like ever since I've been writing, like seriously, when I was like 15, like ever since then, I'm like I could co-write this, but I don't want to. So I'm just gonna do it. And I also am just like, what if the person I'm co-writing with sucks and it's just not good?
They could suck, or what if they try to come for you later on and like, I don't know. I feel like you always hear those like crazy things with like co-writers where they're like, oh, you didn't give me a big enough cut. It's like, no, you literally wrote 2 words in the song.
Yeah. And so I really only co-write with people that are like my friends, really, or people that I'm close to, or people
that's the best way to do it.
That like know me sonically and know me. Yeah, people who know me sonically and know what I want to say and also like challenge me and like pull things out of me.
Yeah.
And stuff like that. So it's really difficult for me to co-write because I'm like, I could just finish it myself. And I usually do.
Yeah. So, no, I love that. How did you said Nate Smith is one of your mentors, words. How did you get in? Like, did you meet him when you came to Nashville? Did you know him beforehand?
Oh, no, I've known him for a while.
That's really cool.
Yeah, I've known Nate since I was like, he was like the leader at church that told me I didn't have to lead worship. Basically.
Really? Oh, that's so cool.
He was like, yeah, you don't have to do that. And I was like, period. And so like when we don't talk a lot now, love you, Nate, but back in the day when we were like super tight, we would write together a lot, and I would send him all of the songs I've been writing and all these things, and he'd be like, oh, that's good, I like that, you've used that chord progression already, like things like that.
That's the worst. Someone like pointed out one thing in my song. It was like one thing I loved, and they were like, you already did that and you're repeating it again. And I was like,
that's real.
Fuck you. Fuck you. I like
but
this part.
Sometimes
like,
you need that little challenge, you know? Because you'll just stay in a box.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, so I would just send him all of the songs, and they're probably the worst songs ever.
No.
Oh, my God. I made a video of me, like, reacting to my old YouTube videos. I've privated all of them because they're so bad. And I couldn't post it because I was like, I cannot allow people to know that I was this bad. And then I also thought, people in my life were like, Amber, you're so good. I was listening to this. I was like, I was not good, guys.
You're fucking
Y'all
lying.
were lying to me because I was so bad.
No.
And y'all was telling me I was good and to keep going.
Well, you were probably good for like a kid.
I was good for a kid.
It's different
you're
though.
Right. If
But
I was
also
that
like,
bad now, then I would
Quit.
be upset. Quit for sure. But I was like, y'all were really in my face telling me I was good. That's crazy.
No, that's like the worst too. Like finding old videos of me. Like, yes, it's cute because I'm a kid, but I'm also so like critical of myself. I'm like, that's horrible. Like
the technique.
Who let me
sound like that.
Yes.
And y'all was applauding me.
No, literally.
And encouraging me.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, but also it's like cute to be like, oh, look, this is where I was at. I like look back at some of the songs I wrote in early college and like when I first started songwriting, and
they're bad.
God awful. Whoever was like,
I remember like when my little sister sent me like my journals of like all my songs, I was like, this is some trash.
like this will never see the light of day.
It will never see the light of day.
My dad, so we got one of my songs produced, and it I don't even remember what it was called. It was so bad, like horrible.
Yeah.
And we got this song produced. We spent like $1,000 on it, not even that much to get like a song like fully done, and it is horrible,
horrendous.
One of the worst songs I've ever heard. My dad sends it to people still, and I'm like,
that's actually kind of cute.
No, it's not, because
your dad is
so
he believes
bad.
in you.
It's so bad.
Your dad loves you.
He does love me. It's really sweet. He's literally
so
the best man in the
One
entire
time,
world.
my mom played my music on YouTube for a plumber, and I was like, "Mom, can you let this man do his job?"
She's like, but you should listen to my
She's
daughter.
like, my daughter's a singer. You should listen. I was like, Mom, he's here to fix the pipes. He's not here to listen to you play my music. It was not even YouTube on her phone. It was YouTube on the television.
No.
In the house,
Mom.
on like full blast.
Come on,
I'm
Mom.
not kidding. I was like, Mom, turn that off. This man is just, pay the man and let him leave.
No, literally. My
It was
parents always would be like,
crazy.
oh, Riley sings. Sing for them. And I'm like, fuck
No.
you. Fuck you.
One time,
we're getting into it. I feel like
oh
this is
my
like trauma.
God. One time I was at a restaurant.
No.
One time I was at a restaurant and they were like, "Oh, we need live." They were looking for like live music on like Sundays or something like that. And my mom was like, "She can do it." And they're like, "Can you sing?" And I was like, "Yeah." And they're like, "Right, just sing right now." I was like, "In the restaurant right now? I don't have a guitar." And they were like, "Sing right now." And I was
hate
like, so
that.
I just sang like a verse to a song. And I was like, I'm so mad that I just did that. I'm so angry that I let myself sing a song to these people
Yeah.
in a restaurant in my local suburb. Like,
no.
it was so traumatic. It wasn't
And then-
traumatic, but I just remembered that I did that. And now I'm thinking about it and
Now
how
you're
cringy
like-
that is.
No, we're going to have to hash that out in therapy next week.
Yeah, for sure. Because why was I singing in a restaurant? No accompaniment, just me.
That's so bad.
Bars.
I had something that you said just like triggered a memory for me too, like kind of the same thing, but I can't remember what it was I was gonna say. Guess it wasn't that important. Anyways, so your song is coming out August 11th.
Yes, August 11th.
And it'll be available to pre-save tomorrow.
Period.
Because we're pretending like it's next Monday.
Yes.
Because nobody needs to know that we pre-record these. But yeah, so pre-save link will be out tomorrow.
Yes.
Are you gonna do a music video for it? What's next?
What's
for Amber Ais?
next for Amber Ais? So I have been working on a project. It's a 2-part EP. So
You heard it here first. Is this the first place you
Yes.
said this?
this is actually
Yes,
on the
it
record.
is.
On the record, 2-part
I'm so
EP.
good. I get it out of all my artists.
2-part EP coming in 2024.
Okay.
And this is the first single off of it.
Mhm.
Crying Over Boys.
So exciting.
It is very exciting.
Are we doing any touring soon? What's the
I
vibe?
really, really hope so.
Yeah.
I really hope so. There's definitely going to be a show on August 19th, which is the week after the song comes out.
Mhm.
I'm really focused right now on just getting everything mixed and mastered and
Yeah.
getting all of it out. It's like the first half is my priority right now.
Mhm. Absolutely.
And then the second half will come later.
yeah. Okay. Wait. You just said that you have a show. You said it's on the 13th,
The 19th.
19th,
August
Plug it.
19th.
Tell
August
people where to
19th
be.
at the East Room at 7, I think.
I love the Eastern. Wait.
Yes.
I'm gonna come.
Yeah, totally come.
Yeah.
It's gonna be great. It's a showcase. These people that I've worked with, they're called Evergreen Entertainment, and they're doing like a showcase
Mhm.
of a couple of their artists and me. So
That's so awesome.
Yeah.
Are you signed?
no,
Okay,
completely indie. I do everything myself. But if you love me and you don't want me to be indie, you could maybe pre-save the song, share it with all your friends, and cry over a boy to it.
Yeah.
Okay?
We
So
we do a lot of crying over boys on this podcast. It's embarrassing. It is.
It's okay.
But we do it.
It's okay.
We've all been there.
You know, I really believe that this song is relatable, not because it's something that, not just because I wrote it, but because I think going through a breakup in like your mid-20s is like a little bit embarrassing.
It's a little dramatic.
And a little dramatic. And you're just like, but why is this happening to me? You know?
Yeah.
When I think you get to an age and these kinds of things just don't bother you or affect you anymore.
Nope.
But no, heartbreak doesn't really have an age.
No,
it
does not.
And I thought I would have aged out of that.
Yeah.
But no, babe, I was not.
No,
I did not.
Even 26 is still young too in the grand scheme of life. So we'll probably be crying over some more, boys.
You know, I really hope not. But because the last one was a doozy. My God.
Are you dating right now?
That's top secret information. It is top secret.
Is it complicated?
It's not complicated at all, actually.
Oh.
It's very good, but it's also top secret.
Top secret.
Information.
Okay.
Top secret.
So secret. Okay. So show coming up.
Yes.
Song out. Projects coming out.
Yes.
I'll have to have you back on whenever that comes out.
For sure. I would love to.
This is your chance. Plug everything. Tell everybody where they can find you.
Amazing.
All the socials, music, all the tea.
Okay. Hi, I'm Amber Ais, and you can find me on literally everything at Amber_AIS. That's where you can find me on Instagram, on Threads also. Since
we're on Threads now.
Since Threads is real now. At Twitter, even though, is Twitter real anymore?
No.
Elon just made it an X. So I don't know.
I don't use Twitter. I haven't used Twitter in years.
And Twitter, you can follow my Facebook page if you want to. I'm mostly active on like Instagram and TikTok also. Amber Ais, that one does not have a underscore. And you can find my music on Spotify, Apple Music, and wherever you listen to music. So
thank you so much, Amber, for coming on.
Of course.
Once again, my name is Riley Nelson. You can find me on everything now at Hosted by Riley Nelson. I just changed all my handles. So if you're looking for Riley Nelson 18, she's gone. She's dead. We're more professional now.
Period.
It's now Hosted by Riley Nelson. This Hits Different podcast on Instagram. And you can go on the website, submit stories, tell me who you want to have on next, all the things. Go interact with us there.
Amen.
All right. Bye, guys.
Bye.